segment, as it is timely and relevant. Allow me to get off the screen to give you a better view of the NASA GOES lightning mapper. Heavy lightning across the Dakotas especially, also Arkansas and Mississippi, moving into Alabama and Tennessee. Also northern Florida seeing some lightning, as well as northern New England. Here's a real-time lightning map, lightningmaps.org. Lightningmaps.org, I used it yesterday to forecast thunder. Quite active right now is the world in terms of lightning. Some significant lightning there in Eastern Europe, as well as across the North American continent. No need to zoom in there, as there is sporadic lightning all over, and some kicking off in Africa and near the Azores. Actually, that's well north of the Azores, in the North Atlantic Ocean there. Next, talking about Saharan dust. Zero Hedge picked up a story about it. It's the DUSTPOCALYPSE. Just kidding, folks. It doesn't really cause too much damage, but what it does do is it shuts down tropical systems. So this is going to cause weakening of tropical systems because the dust is massive and dry, and it does not help the upwelling required to create tropical storms. What we're looking at here is the particulates on nullschool.net. So that's the DUX, 550 nanometer optical thickness. In other words, dust. And the dust from the Sahara does indeed seed the Caribbean, making it as fertile as it is. Let's look at the normal stuff that we usually look at. Here are the jet streams of the Western world. You can see once again very incoherent jet streams over the U.S., which is causing all kinds of, shall we say, funky weather. Certainly some hot temperatures over the eastern portion of the country. Some extreme bends in the jet stream here. Doubled up jet streams in the southern hemisphere. Here are the surface winds of the Western world. Next, surface winds of the eastern world. And this cyclonic system has moved south a little bit since yesterday here off of the west coast of Australia. The winds look like they weakened a little bit here, probably up to about 50 miles per hour there. Here are the jet streams of the eastern world. Powerful low pressure system here in the northern Pacific. Quite incoherent jet streams here over the northern hemisphere all the way around the world. And quite chaotic jet streams here in the southern hemisphere. Check it out. A strong low pressure system here over southeasternmost Australia. Next, looking at temperatures. I just wanted to show you how Greenland is going to melt and sea levels are going to rise and we're all going to die. Pardon the sarcasm. Central Greenland is at 5 degrees Fahrenheit right now, despite the Arctic seeing sunlight for large portions of the day. Anyway, here is pressure cells as reported by windy.com. We'll advance this into the Euro forecast for tomorrow. There's the European forecast for pressure at 1300, 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Next, moving on to the U.S. Doppler radar map. And again, you can see these strong storms moving across east central Arkansas into northern Mississippi, Alabama, and Tennessee, as well as some very strong storms sweeping across the Nebraskas, the Dakotas, and Nebraska. Taking a pretty much due east path there, as well as some quite concentrated storms there in northwestern Minnesota. Also some thunderstorms in northern New England. Here's what's going on in the cloud layer. Here's the water vapor map. And we'll go back to the Doppler. And this should give you an idea with the water vapor map of how these systems are going to move. One last recap before we close out today's meteorology segment. Thanks for tuning in. I've been your host, Dan, a.k.a. smAsho. Make sure you press like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Share the media. Share the videos with your friends and foes on social media. We'll see you next time at our meteorology segment.